This daf here Yerushalmi Challah, and the article was the 100th edition. We're on daf Chaf Aleph Amud Aleph, right? The Mishnah of Allah Beis, Mishnah Yochel Asu, which is mamish right at the top of the Gimel Amud Aleph in the Vilna. So Mishnah Yochel says this is a betara. The Mishnah says something you can't make his dough betara. Like Yerushalmi is an example. He's tummy, he doesn't have 40 saw, which can go to the mikveh. Yasin a kabin. You should make it his dough into small measures, each kab unto itself. So you should not have to come on to the chiyuv of challah, and you should not make the entire dough betuma that he's going to have to take a challah tmeah, because it's also mimatame shuman challah. It's interesting pshat. That's for the Rosh Tzvilio. The Mishnah Rishona gives interesting pshat. He says since he's mavashi betuma, he has to burn it, and it's as if you're going to be ma'abed, causing yourself to violate the truma being ma'abed truma biyadayim, by initially designated for burning. Interesting. Lomdish. Rashi is probably the more precious pshat. Amen. Rabbi Akiva may I send a betuma, I send a kabin. Rabbi Akiva says do make a betuma like we do today, and don't make it kabin in order to eliminate the chiyuv challah. Shekshem should correct to because just like korei shem challah Torah, so you korei shem challah tmeah, which I assume means it's a mitzvah to be korei shem. Regardless of, obviously nowadays our precious challah becomes a very big ceremony. We would use for all sorts of skulos and bring down the shefa. So it's a big union. Lezeh korei challah b'shem. That's when you korei challah b'shem. B'shem malchus, you make a bracha. Lezeh korei challah b'shem. And this one you also make a bracha, even if it's tmeah. Well, it's a great thing. Avol kamayim ein lehem challah b'shem. But you divide up kav. You you are taking away the chiyuv challah and the mitzvah you get, the bracha you can make, and okay. This Rashi will add something that was a bit strange. We also go to steal a coin of his portion, which you could burn. Okay, but the main thing seems to be the bracha. Also, he says kamin. Somebody makes his isa in small measures. And those small measures touch each other. The doughs touch each other. And until they bite into each other, which means that you can separate them without taking along a little bit of the adjacent dough. And those that's a way of being mitzaref doughs for challahs after you take them out of the oven. Put them all in one basket, and the basket is mitzaref them to take off the challah from one loaf and all the other loaves. Okay, says the says more. What are you talking about here in our Mishnah? So we learned previously if you can go for a meal to find a place to go to the mikveh, then on your roads, and then you should go and not do make the dough with tuma. So that seems to be what the Gemara is talking about. The Mishnah about here says the Gemara, "Ma pachas me'arba meal yasen avatara." What's it about? So it means less than 3-4 meals in the mikveh, you should make vitara. Arbas meal, if it's 4 meals in the mikveh, yasen a kabin, you should make it small measures. So arbas meal yasen a vitara, arbas meal yasen a kabin. So the one says, perhaps that's not the case. It's one of these boundary things. Let's read that again. What was it? Pachas me'arbas meal. If it's less than 4 meal, yasen a betara. Arbas meal yasen a kabin. If it's exactly 4 meal, they make a kabin. Or arbas meal yasen a betara. Advad bichlal. If it's 4 meal, then not just pachas, but even 4 meal yasen a betara. Then go to the mikveh. B'yosem meal. If it's more than 4 meal, then yasen a kabin. Then you make a kabin. Shemina minado. It's almost like a Rimier question, you know. If you have one leg over 50 amos from the dovecot, one less than the leg, less 50 amos from the dovecot. Okay, Shemina minado. Dan rechir barva kigon keisarim. It's only about from here to Keisarim. And we don't know where he was, but wherever he was, because Lava Bas Milhu is Kesarim, wasn't it precisely 4 mil from where Rabbi Chia was? Adamar Bas Mil, I said it means that it's up to and including 4 mil, you do make a Matara. Yes, Rabbi Mil, I said a Kabin, it's more than 4 mil, then you make it a Kabin. Okay, Rabbi Ami Hore Bikfar Shemi, Rabbi Ami Paskin in Kfar Shemi, it says here, different version for Shammai, Lasos Isa Gedela Betuma, to make a large dough Betuma. Palo Ancient Arba Milin. So the question is, there was less than 4 mil for between the Kfar Shammai and the place where there was a Gabal, a kneader, who was kneading dough Betara. So that's less than 4 mil. How can they do Betuma? Became Naramapsik. No, there was a river in between. So since there's a river in between, so that counts as if it's more than 4 mil. Kamisha Yesha, or Yesha 4 mil. It's as if there is 4 mil, and therefore they're allowed to make the Issa B'tara. Okay, so the one that says Masnisin, the Rabbi Akiva. Our Mishnah is going like Rabbi Akiva. This is I have here. Opposite Leib Yerushalmi Challah in this Gemara, exclamation point, a large one. So let's see what it says. From that which Rabbi Ami said, we derive that Rabbi Akiva holds that you should make betuma and not make it kabin, and we say the Mishnah. It's called a Mishnah that, in other words, that it says Masnisin, it's not our Mishnah. Our Mishnah mentioned Rabbi Akiva explicitly. Masnisa is used here pertaining to the statement of Rabbi Ami. Rabbi Ami is an Amora. I find that occasionally in the Yerushalmi. I guess at the time it shocked me. Since Rabbi Ami was a God of the door, it's as if he was saying it's as if it's a brisa. And when he says a brisa, and it writes here, B'cheinu derech Yerushalmi. So again, this is something which might not have shocked me later on, but I guess still when I was doing Challah, it shocked me. So the Masnisa, Rabbi Ami's statement is Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva Amar Yasen Betuma Va'al Yasen Kabin. To make it do Betuma and don't make a Kabin, right? Because otherwise, it can make a Kabin. Says more no, and it's as if it doesn't say here, but as if it says Afilu Teim Rabbanan. He didn't say it's going to Rabbanan. And here's a Isa G'dayla Hesa. Doesn't say Afilu Teim Rabbanan. It says if it says it. It's about where it's a large dough. And even Rabbanan or Moida, if it's a large dough, it doesn't say how large. That they weren't matriach you. Maybe it does say. But anyway, they weren't matriach you to make a carbon because it's a lot of tircha to make it with many small measures. So the again, Israel is a noachaya lo lahalan kama, and to say it was such a large dough that it would have been easier for him to go 10 meal. I know it doesn't say 10 here, but it says here the Leib Yerushalmi. It would be easier to go 10 meal for him to, and rather make a carbon. So it was so much tircha to make a carbon. It was more tircha than going more than 4 meal. So therefore, it's such a large dough of that measure. So they were not matriach him to go 4 meal, and they were not matriach him to make carbon, which is even greater tircha. That's from the Rav Food in the Gra. Okay, so this says Marchav Shitas is Rabbi Akiva. The difficulty for Akiva and Rabbi Akiva. Tamanu Amar Noita Mikav Chala. There he says in Paragdal Mishnah Bey, he says you can take challah from a calf, and it's a small measure. But here he says no, it's only going to chayv challah if you have the 5 kabin. So tamal shavar, there it's b'diavad. there's challah is b'diavad. But l'chatchila, our mission l'chatchila, and therefore l'chatchila should not be correct, make challah out of the take challah unless you have the shear, and therefore he says advise you to go to the shear even though it's betuma. Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Chia, B'Shem, Rabbi Yochanan, Rabbi Yosef, Rabbi Yami, Rabbi Yami, Shem, Rabbi Yochanan, V'hein shenoshchu. So the that which Rabbi Lezer holds that in our Mishnah, that where you took the baked breads into a bowl, and that's mitzarev them, that's specifically when they bite. So he's mimachmer. He's saying not only is it's not enough that they bite, you have to also put them into the same basket, right? So as you say, the hein shenoshchu, as long as they bit. So as we said, definition was that when you take off a piece from one loaf or one dough, so a piece of the other dough comes along with it. That's not enough. You have to also put them into the same basket. Rabbi, I mean, it's really saying the other way around. Hey, shenoshcha means putting in the same basket was not enough unless they also were noshech. Those who say in the Brisa, it's both that a sow, a basket, joins stuff and make up a shir challah, but not an oven. Not the fact to make the same oven. There's those who learn it's the opposite. That an oven that joins everything there which is baked in order to make it chayav challah, but a sow mitzaref, not the basket. Rabbi Yochanan says, I bring you an interpretation from Chilfei, from Ilfa, his friend, of course, who initially went out to Parnasa, and Rabbi Yochanan went back to the Beis Medrash, the whole story, which we know. So I am going to bring a raya from explanation from Ilfa. Nashchu kanu kamitzarif. If they bite each other, then both in the oven and in the basket, then it's tarif. The lo nashchu, if they don't bite, bank kind of aim mitzarif. In both cases, they're not mitzarif, whether they are in an oven or whether they are in the basket. Masnisa, and the Brisa is talking about Elaine Rifta above, say about Babylonian bread, that they were wide and round and suitable to bite each other. That according to one mandamar, that specifically the oven is mitzayef, and according to the other mandamar, the basket is mitzayef them. But if you if they are long or long or short and not round, but I guess straight and board-like, and they're not suitable to bite each other, not mitzayef neither in an oven nor in a basket. So the Yerushalmi brings down here from the Ridbaz, from the Ranim Sachin, that the machlekes by the oven and the basket is based on the pasuk in Bamidbar Tesvavites, lechem haaretz. So it says we eat from the bread of land. So it seems that it's even though you weren't chayav v'challah when it's a dough, you become chayav v'challah when it becomes bread. So I'm sorry that says vav. But this is a machlekes. According to one opinion, the specific oven's mitzayef the challah when they're all baked in one oven. The bread is mitzayef. That's hilchos challah, the Ramban and the shiltos. And the other opinion holds that the basket is mitzayef because it's not considered to be bread until it's out of the oven and it's about to be eaten. And that's only after it's baked and when it's already in the basket. Now, in the end of the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan brings down the pshat from Chilfei, Ilfa, Nashchu kanu mitzaref, both the oven and the basket mitzaref, because the ikar is the neshicha. And besides that, Rabbi Lezer need either the oven or the basket. No, not noshech kam kan mitzvah means the oven or the basket mitzvah. The question is when you have the bread of Bavel. That bread of Bavel, which is it's round, and evidently, I guess if it's round, it's more likely that it's going to bite, even though it's not biting. It's kind of a question called Roy Labila in Bila Makevis Bo. Since it could bite. So the question is, what do you look at? Do you look at the oven, where it is, in fact, where the biting would be cemented, so to speak, or you look at the basket, where we would be able to perceive actually if it's biting or not. Even if it's not biting there, which is Gemara Malacha, like you said before. It's a little bit difficult. It's not good. Not thrilled with the pshat, but that seems to be what pshat we're going with here. The article in the Chufei Gerusos brings down a pshat from based on the Rash. It seems that the rift of the Bavel actually are noshech, but they're not noshech as isos. They're noshech only either in the oven or when they finally get to the basket. So then that's the question: what's mitzaref them? Is the oven mitzaref them because they are not the sal, or is the sal mitzaref them and not the basket? But there isn't an actual neshicha. So the neshicha was not in the dough. The question, the neshicha was later on when it was either actually baked or the after it's in the oven, or after it's finished baking when it's in the basket. I guess we could be. I'm perhaps going to say a different variation on that theme, which is that it's possible that the they noshech in the oven, touching the oven. It's possible that there's a certain type of soft bread, which the Babylonian bread, which in fact was not noshech in the oven. Oven is separate, but when you pile them into the baskets, it's still soft and hot. So therefore, they're joined together. So the question is, where does the joining together have to happen? When do we join? Do we look at it in the oven? When they join together, when we join together in the oven, it's valid. If they join together in the oven, even if they join together in the basket, it's no good. Or we say the opposite. No, we say that in the oven it doesn't matter whether they join together or not. Even if they fell apart in the oven, it doesn't matter. But we look at, or stay together in the oven, it doesn't matter. We look at it as an end product, and when they're still soft then and can be noshech then, question whether that neshicha takes place or not. And that neshicha, according to that opinion, determines again it's a type of soft bread where the neshicha occurs, I guess, even though it might not happen in the oven, it happened in the basket, which is the primary neshicha in the baking process or in the sal process. But the Yerushalmi does bring down also the article brings down from the Bavli in Rabbi Chanina, who we paskin like, that you don't need both neshicha and tzir fasal. Only need tzir fasal, and that was enough to actually be mitzaref them for the chiyuv of chal. And we'll stop here.